Hello, the internet, and welcome back to the live stream. It is July 5th, 2019, and today I will be live for 39 minutes. Welcome back. Also, heads up, if it is July 4th where you're playing, because we're a little bit ahead of the future here. We are the future here in Australia. We're not ahead of the future. That would make us somewhere even different. We are the future. We're the present, which is your future. I'm talking to you, Mindy. Happy July 4th. It could be the July 4th for you still. I think it is. Judging on the chat, I think you're still in the 4th of July. You've got your fireworks ready. Let's just catch up in the chit-chat, what we've missed. There was a Matthew Corbin who joined super early, which I appreciate, Matthew. Had a bit of a chit-chat with myself. I asked him if it's the first time he's been in here. Yes. And he said, I'll come back at the time of the stream. That's cool. I like to get in there a bit early just to sort of get the vibe, get the feeling, who's in the chit chat, who's going to join the stream, just have a bit of a chin wag. But then you'll see me 10 minutes before the stream. I'll say, okay, I'll see you all in 10. And what I do there is I go into what I call lockdown. It's kind of like where I put my collared shirt on, make sure my hair looks less hideous than what it is, make sure everything's like the final check before hitting the go live button. And it's got to be peace of mind for me to do that. That's why I disengaged with the chit chat for that last 10 minutes, just because I'm shitting myself that something might go wrong and I want to just double check. But anyway, I digress. Tim Arskog in the house. Good morning. Good to see you, Tim. He said he's not going to be able to stick around for a little while. He's got to run a couple of errands. He did mention Emma Black's 28th birthday. Emma Black, if you happen to be watching this or the replay, I hope you watch the replay. I hope right now, given it's your birthday morning, I hope Mr. Danny Black has taken you out for a breakfast morning birthday celebration. If he hasn't, he damn well should. Happy birthday, Emma. Northrop MJ, hello from rainy Missouri, and it's raining here too, so I can sympathize with you. We're just chit-chatting about what happened with Olive, Danny's van, Danny's RV. Yeah, it's not the wheel bearing, it's something else. Oh, that sucks, dude. The cause hasn't been determined. It's either brakes or tail shaft. Dang. We talked a little bit about fireworks there in the chit-chat. Northrop MJ's got her bottle rockets ready. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Bottle rockets ready. Bottle rockets ready. Now, there was a conversation there about Tim saying how they banned fireworks in Australia, and Northrop MJ, aka Mindy, came back with an absolute banging comment. It's so cool. She said, "Did the government outlaw fireworks because of injuries to people?" And then Tim said, "Yeah, that's what they claim." And then Mindy says, "So why are you guys still able to have cars?" And it's a very, very, very valid point. And it also kind of ties into the discussion today about Germany versus Australia. But on that subject of fireworks, I want to bring a discussion that I have. And I've also got video of this, but I haven't, because this happened so recently in the chit chat, I haven't actually queued the video in, but maybe we'll bring it on for tomorrow's stream. But oops, I'll just bump the mic. I lived in Adelaide for some time, and I had a housemate who I'd known previously that I said, "Oh, do you want to come and move into this spare room?" Yada, yada, yada. She was dating the owner of Sunsong Fireworks, which is the biggest, or one of the biggest fireworks manufacturers and importers, and what do they call themselves? Display artists, I guess. They do the display firework displays that... So here in Australia, Mindy, we can't go out our backyard and let off fireworks unless you happen to live, as Tim said, in ACT or in Northern Territory. But you can go to a display which authorized people put on and you go and watch it. Now, this guy was the top tier of that. He owned the company. And consequently, our house was just filled with fireworks. We had all the fireworks that you could remember as children. We had them all in the bags. It was unbelievable. The story I want to tell you, and I don't want to blow it too much now, but there was one time we had so many fireworks in that house, we were letting them off inside, and I've got video footage of me. I think it was me. I was definitely in there with the crew, but we let off these fireworks inside, and one of them went, I don't know what kind of firework it was, but it went zinging off the ceiling, and this is a rental house, mind you, and it went banging off the ceiling and all through the living room, and then it made its way tic-tacking, banging, bossing all the way down into the foyer where you walk in off the street through the front door, and it bounced around the whole lineup of shoes that we all had. I had a series of skate shoes and dress shoes, and my housemate had all their shoes. One of my housemates was a Norwegian girl by the name of Ingvild, and she had big knee-high, fuck me boots, the big knee-high leather boots, right? And the firework went inside the boot and bounced all over it, and she walked in as this was happening. It's so funny. Like, she comes in, I'm going to bring this video out. She comes in and she's like, what is going on? What, the fireworks in the house? My shoes. And she's like, and we were cacking ourselves. But anyway, that's just come up now because of the chat. I'll dig through. It's in one of these tapes down here. I'll dig through that, and we'll watch that on the stream tomorrow. But that's nothing to do with the topic of discussion for today. But I thought it was a worthy digression point. Now let's just catch up what I missed. So why are you guys still able to have cars? Very, very good point. You have car fatalities. Michael, aka WIE, says he's just saying it's a pain for me to watch live in Europe because of the time. So it's 1 a.m. for Europe right now. Which part of Europe are you in, Michael? The thing is, and this is what I always say when someone says the timing isn't right for me, what I've done here is I've set my live streams up to go from my time, 9 a.m., and this is a 39-minute stream, but every day it gets longer by 1 minute, or every stream it gets longer by 1 minute. So what's going to happen eventually, I'm going to cap it at the 12-hour mark. Eventually, this stream will be a 12-hour long stream, and that'll be from 9 a.m. right through to 9 p.m. on my time. So that's an entire 12-hour block of the day, and that should give every territory in the world a suitable time to come and join the stream. Okay, you may not see it from the get-go, from the very beginning, but at least you'll be able to catch portions of the stream at a suitable time. What that'll do for me, I'll be super tired. It'll be and it'll be every week. Every stream will be a mammoth stream. That's the fun of it. I want to bring people in, have conversations, run stories, run videos. Speaking about the call-ins for tomorrow, I'm gonna use Discord. Most people said you should use Discord, and we'll do a little, not a test, but once we finish the discussion today, we'll tap on what we're going to do tomorrow with the Discord. So Michael, I know it's a pain for you right now, but if you can wait with time, come back in like quite a long time from now, because I mean, with July, it's kind of bumping everything along faster, but then it'll go back to weekly streams where it's the plan. It's a plan for a long format, long duration, lengthy existence on YouTube with the Gives a Minute live stream. So stick it out, man. But he did say German Autobahn is the best. Yeah. Okay. So 1 a.m. for Michael. Gee, I've missed a lot of the chit chat. I've been yik yakking too much. I've missed the chit chat. Let's see. Lots of image ants. I love a good image ant, Tim. Love a good image ant. That should be a t-shirt. An image ant. Are we starting, Matthew Corbin? We are starting. We started. I might be a little bit behind the chat. I'm just catching up. Travel Jet Setter in the house. G'day, Travel Jet Setter. How you going? I'm not going to use you by your old handle. Travel Jet Setter it is. Lisa Smart. Good morning, Benon. Good morning, Lisa. My name's Benon. If you didn't know, my channel name's Gives a Minute. My real name's Benon. Lisa knew that. Good morning. Travel Jet Setter Michael. Are you all from Australia? Not all of us are. No, not all of us. Where is Danny Black? Good morning. Haha. Emma heard that, did she? Are you taking her? Are you back home, Danny, or are you still on the road? You've got to get her out for breakfast. At least, if you can't get her out for breakfast, at least bring some banana bread home or something. That'll suffice. Everyone's saying hello to Danny. Hello, happy birthday to Emma Black. Michael says, all right. And just while we are here talking about Danny Black, this whole July process, going live every day in July, I'm going to do this every single day because it's his idea. I put a little linky poo in the chit chat. That goes to Danny Black's YouTube channel this is where he began this concept. But heads up, head went up, heads up. He's not doing it on YouTube this year. He's doing it on Facebook. But you can find it all, and all the stuff will be on his channel. I want to give him the props that he deserves because this is not my concept. July with the little upside down Y, that belongs to Danny. Thanks for mentioning my name. No worries, Matthew Corbin. You came into the chit chat. I wanted to see who you were. Where are you from, Matthew? That's probably the better question. Emma says thanks. She's getting ready for work. Okay. Whoa. The chat just dragged up. The medical profession in Australia kill or maim 2,500,000 people per year, but no restriction on doctors, only fireworks or guns. Wait, what? You did what? Travel Jet Setter. Okay, you were shooting off fireworks in the house. Yes. I'm so far behind. I got to catch up. I'm in Poland, Michael. Okay, aka WIE is in Poland. Michael, I've found myself here tonight. There's so many Michaels in this chat. Michael squared. This is awesome. G'day, Michael, and Michael. Sorry, that's Matthew, Michael, and Michael. Matthew says, me too. Oh my God, you are so far back from the chat. Okay, I'm getting up to speed now. Matthew Corbin is from Barbados. Wow, dude. I'd love to visit your country. That would be absolutely insane. And now I'm up to speed. So there you go. Sorry that took so long, but I do think that with these long format streams, we have the opportunity to really dig into the chat. I'm from Barbados. I live in Barbados. I am Barbados. That should be your next comment, Matthew. I'm from Barbados. I live in Barbados. I am Barbados. Michael is a popular name. Yeah. So what's happened with me on a waiver day? Well, I do love these previews, and I had the greatest surf yesterday. It really made up for how terrible I've been in the first 3 days of a waiver day. The conditions have been a little bit nasty, a little bit out of my league, but then when I went down yesterday, it was a little bit cleaner, still kind of large, but a little bit cleaner, and there was a really banging left coming through. And I got some great rides. I'd love to share it with you right now. Let's catch up with the super quick wave a day edit. And that's where it's supposed to kick in. I did that wrong. I was on the chit chat. That sucks. Hang on a second. Let me do this again. I built that up, didn't I? And then I just really messed it up. Let me see if this rolls out now. No, it's not going to. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. Fail. Welcome back to the super quick wave a day edit. Wow, I made amends this morning. I got some great left-handers in conditions not unlike this. It was raining, it was miserable, but the left was working. Have a look at this. Thursday. It's cold, but it's winter. I've got to keep my eye on the rain coming from the south. As you know, my iPad is my beach camera, and it is not waterproof. Okay. Was that an okay start? Let's go again. You better run to give a sail. Woohoo! Yeah! What? Did you see that? Oh, the rain's coming in. Oh crap, the conditions are too good. I'm going to sacrifice the iPad for a little while, hoping that the rain passes. It's only a light dusting. That wave felt so sick. Oh, come on. More. Can't feel it in my bones, feel it in my arms, feel within you. Woo-hoo! Yeah! Woo! Waka! Woo! That the left is working perfectly. So pumped. There are some rights coming through, as is the rain. I don't know, I've only been out here for 15 minutes, getting so many rides I don't want to go in. I have to call it, that's really coming down now. But there's a bit of blue sky up there too, look. It looks like the rain is kind of heading out across, not to the beach. So that wasn't the best ride, but at least the rain has stopped. A rainbow's come out, so we're good to keep surfing. I'm so pumped out here today. This has been awesome. Made up for the last 3, I can tell you now. Whoa! Uh-oh. Started raining again. That's a bit too heavy. Dang. Do you hear it hitting my wetsuit? That's a little on the heavy side. We give it a few minutes, work it out, wait it out. It's already getting wet on the GoPro. enough to get under that big mama, but it took me back. Classic. I thought I'd cleared it. I have to watch the playback, see what I did wrong, but I thought I was past it, and the next thing I know, board goes vertical, I go back, and then I start laughing. As much as I'm having good rides here, I'm still a kook. Ain't no doubt about that. I tried to stay high on that one, and then I ate poo. Woo! I ate more poo! Wow! I ate more poo right now and drink the urine. I'm gonna call that. Woo! Yeah? How about that? I feel like I've totally shaken those first 3 days of not so great waves, and I am back, baby. A wave a day is happening. I'm loving it. Love that left. And now while I check this swell and where this rain is coming from, you guys can go back to the live stream. I think I did have a better surf then, right? That's a better surf than ever before so far on Wave a Day. The rain kind of got to me, but didn't let it stop me. But yeah, I just get so pumped up when I come off a wave like that. Like that left, you could see I was kind of keeping more up in the pocket of the wave. Like even though the wave didn't like curl over me, I was continuing to keep up on that top edge and then using the angel of the wave for speed and then coming back up to it. Just got me so pumped. I mean, it's only going to get better from here, hopefully. In the chat, nice surf, Danny Black. Yeah, thanks, man. Matthew Corbin says, yep. So yeah, I mean, that's part of what I'm doing on my YouTube channel right now. The other thing is the July of live streams. And we talked a little bit yesterday about how we can get a live chat happening, so call-ins. I looked at Skype at one point and then I thought, no, Skype just seems a bit clunky and you need to have a Microsoft account just to use Skype. So what I've decided to do instead, I want to use Discord, but what I'm going to do tomorrow on the chat, I'm going to give you a invite to a chat room within, because Gives a Minute has a Discord server. We don't use it a great deal. Stalkerbolter, you might have seen Stalkerbolter in the chat before. He's really pumping the Discord, and a lot of the crew that come across from DLive use the Discord, but predominantly I don't use it so much. No, I'm not going to use Zoom, Danny. I'm going to use, hey, where's my chat on the oh, there you go. That's interesting. It's kind of behind. I posted a link in the chat right now. That is to the Gives a Minute Discord. But what I'm saying is, even if you don't go to the Discord, so you got to download the Discord app, either on your handy, your phone, your mobile device, or a desktop. If you don't want to hit that link I've sent you, that'll take you to the Gives a Minute Discord server. Every day we stream, I'll send you, in the chat, I'll put a private link to join the text channel, not the text, the voice channel, because that right there, that link goes to just the overall Discord for Gives a Minute, but the actual link I'll put every day is a fresh one, because what if I don't do that and I post a link generally, it means anybody from anywhere at any time could join in and start chatting live with voice, and we don't want that. We want it to be specific to each stream. So every stream that we do a call in, like such as tomorrow when I open up this Jack Daniels behind me, I want to have the audience participation, so we'll do a call in that day and I'll post the link. Is that sensical? Sensical's not a word. Zoom, yeah, not going to use Zoom. Michael, have I seen any great whites? We don't like talking about sharks, man. I don't like discussing it. This is my first time on a Q live stream. On Q live stream? On a live stream. Oh, this is your first time here on any live stream. Wow. Travel Jet Setter would love to call in. Well, maybe you can be the first one, Travel Jet Setter. You already on the Discord of mine? I think you are. Even my first time chatting and having my name mentioned. Well, I'm happy that could be here on the Gives a Minute live stream, Matthew. You're always welcome here. Let's get into the topic of conversation today. I want to talk about Germany versus Australia. Now, in specific, there's plenty of things about both countries that are great, right? There's plenty of things that I could say Germany wins, plenty of things I could say Australia wins. But when we're talking specifically about driving, and more specifically about driving on the open highway system, so we call it a highway here in Australia, Germany calls it the Autobahn. I think that we have a very good topic of discussion because I've spent a lot of time on both of those systems, stretching back initially from my travel times with Tracer, the band, as a photographer. So I ended up driving the tour bus a bunch of times, and the speed limit on the Autobahn, that's what we're going to get to, is often unlimited. So the graphic that you saw in my thumbnail, that little black circle with lines through it, that means the speed limit is cancelled. It's whatever you want to do. And we want to talk about how that affects your driving. But I first want to run. This is a clip of one of the first tours we went on, or I went on with the band, and it was kind of like a bit of a giggle. Do you want to drive? Okay. So the other thing is, in Australia, we drive on the right-hand side of the vehicle. We drive on the right-hand side of the road. We drive on the right-hand side of the vehicle, but the left-hand side of the road. So you got to put that in your mind. The vehicle we're in, right next to me is a window. That's the window, and next to me is a passenger. But then we're driving that vehicle on that side of the road. So the difference in Europe and in Germany is that you're driving that same vehicle, but the steering wheel is on the other side of the road, the vehicle. So next to you is that window, and on that side of you is a passenger. And consequently, the gear stick, the shifter, is over there, not over there. And you're on the right-hand side of the road. So that gives a bit of a perspective of how the difference is and what you got to do with your mind. First thing you got to do is work out that you're not shifting gears with this hand, you're doing it with this hand. So suddenly, when you're like Australians, like this arm gets sunburnt because it's sitting on the windowsill, that's holding the wheel, and this arm does all the gear shifting. If you're in a manual, if you're in an auto, you just sit and steer the thing. But in a manual, which we were driving, you have to sort of figure that out. It's like, okay, so suddenly this hand does all the hard work and this hand just sits on the windowsill and holds the steering wheel. Okay, cool, that's interesting. You get your head around that. Thankfully, the pedals in vehicles is the same across the board. It's always gas, clutch, brake. Gas, brake, clutch. It's always the same. Doesn't matter what side of the road your vehicle sits on. Thankfully, because that would be absolutely... Could you imagine... I can't imagine using... the middle... I can't fathom how that would be. That would be a total mind trip. No limit on the Autobahn. North Front MJ can't imagine that. Yeah, it's for real. But it's not across the board. Like there is certain parts when you're coming into an Ausfahrt, an exit, there's always speed limits that slow down. But then when you get outside the town jurisdiction, the little sign comes up, black with the line through it, put your foot down and off you go. And that's the beauty of it because, and this is where it comes so critical. If you have a vehicle that can handle that speed, any speed, that's why you see lots of like sports cars like Lamborghinis, Ferraris. If you have access to that kind of vehicle, you can get between cities within like a very short time. Whereas in Australia, we're limited to 110 at the max. And the roads are so crap that you would struggle to hit 110 for any long period of time without having to slow down because some dickhead is sitting in front of you doing 80. And we'll get to that in a second. There's no speed limits on certain sections in Germany. Yeah, exactly, says Travel Jet Setter. In Barbados, we drive on the left and sit on the right. So I could really drive in your country, no worries, Matthew. I bet they have a lot of fireworks in Germany. They don't. They have fireworks. They have all kinds of things. It's all legal over there. Do people drive on the left in Australia? Yes, we do. Yeah, we're driving on the left. And in the UK, they do the same thing, which is interesting when you take a tour bus from Europe to the UK. There's that crossover point where you've got to go from the right-hand side to the left-hand side, but it's always done. Well, we've always done it on the ferry from Dover to Calais, and you wake up and all of a sudden you're driving on the other side. It doesn't really make a difference. But what I want to show you is, this is a clip from those first couple of tours. The first one is me driving the bus for the first time ever on the left-hand side. Just a bit of a laugh, like there's not much goes on in this clip except that you see I'm driving and you see my hand on the gear shift on this side, and there's a bit of commentary about it. But then that same clip jumps into Lee, the ex-bass player of the band. He was driving the tour van and we were doing 130 on the Autobahn, and up ahead of us, you just see this massive white cloud of fog. Like the whole highway, the whole Autobahn just turns white. And I say to Lee, we're also going around a bend. Maybe we should slow down. And he's like, yeah, I'll drop down. And we dropped down to 130. So we were doing more than 130, and we dropped down to 130 to go around a bend covered in fog. This is the kind of thing that I want to highlight why this is not unusual and not frowned upon in Germany. Whereas if you did the same thing in Australia, yeah, fucking hoon, what a maniac, what kind of a dickhead drives like that? Just watch this. I'll just roll this.
A7 Hannover Richtung Kassel zwischen Werratalbrücke und Lutherberg. Dort steht ein defektes Fahrzeug. Geht weiter mit Stau und Verkehr. Auf der A1 Bremen Richtung Lübeck zwischen Stillhorn und dem Kreuz Hamburg Süd. 2 Kilometer Stopp. A1 Lübeck Richtung Fehmarn zwischen Sirez und Ratekau 3 Kilometer Stau. A2 Dortmund Richtung Braunschweig.
How's it going, Benon?
This is actually easier than I thought. The most confusing thing is flicking this the wrong way when there's nothing there. And
There isn't an indicator. That's my finger.
Yeah, this being here. Go on, bike.
What are you doing?
So there you go. That's pretty close, man.
I saw your foot flinch.
So that's Benon driving.
What happened to the road?
So this is Lee
Just
driving.
hitting fog. Why not?
Notice the trucks in the right-hand lane.
Maybe we should slow down for this corner. you slowed down, but what speed did you slow down to, Lee? I'll slow down to 130 because it was a corner. Hitting corners at 160 seems stupid.
So what you saw there was Lee driving 130, slowing down to 130 with a tour bus. This is a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, a Sprinter van with a trailer full of gear. So if you saw someone doing that in Australia, the Australian response would be, fucking wankers, fucking what the fuck off. But what I was going to say about those trucks, you saw the trucks in the right-hand lane. There is a law in Germany where trucks are not allowed to go from this lane into this lane. Well, they're allowed to go into that lane if they're passing, but after that, they're speed limited to 100 anyway, so they're not allowed to go any higher than 100. And then if there happens to be a third and a fourth lane, it's illegal for trucks to go in those lanes. So these two lanes here are always free, and it goes from the lowest speed up to the highest speed. So if you happen to have a Lamborghini, you're going to be in this lane, and you're going to be assured that that lane is a clear stretch of Autobahn, unless you see another Lamborghini who's doing a bit slower than you. So what we found was, in the tour bus, we'd never be in this lane. We'd always be in either this lane or this lane. And it's so different than Australian driving, and it's because of this. There's no ego in Germany. Like in Australia, you'll often have some dude that wants to get past you, or that let's say you want to pass someone, the guy in front of you will purposely block you out to not let you pass for whatever the reason. I've never got this about Australian drivers. Like who cares if someone gets ahead of you? Like ultimately, it doesn't make a difference. I don't care if you pass me. In fact, I pull across and let the dude come. Like I don't care. Like go for it. But here in Australia, we have a rule, and I want to bring this up too. We have a rule here that says keep left unless overtaking. But unfortunately, it's not enforced. It's not a law that they can come in and say, you're getting it on the spot fine because you didn't keep left and you didn't overtake. Whereas that law, what you're reading right there, on single lane roads, you must stay as close as practical to the left side of the road. On multi-lane roads, if the posted speed limit is 90 or over, if the road has a keep left unless overtaking sign, you must not drive in the right-hand lane unless you are overtaking. Now, that sounds great in practice, in theory, but it doesn't work in practice because nobody sticks to it and nobody polices it. And here's what I want to say about that. And this is the crux of the matter. When you're driving on the Autobahn and you don't have a speed limit, so you get to that point where there's that black sign with the line through it and you just know, okay, I can do whatever I want. As an Australian who's driven his whole adult life, worried about, am I going over the speed? Always looking down, looking up, looking down, looking down, looking up, looking at the speedo, wondering if there's going to be a cop there in the bushes with the speed camera. If I go over it by 5, am I going to get dinged? If I go over it by 3, am I going to get dinged? There's all these sort of theories that you can be 3k over the limit and not get dinged. Then they say that. Wow, did you hear that? The hell was that? Something just fell down. Then they say if your speedo is, if you're using the speedo in your car, that's automatically 3k's lower than the actual speedo. Get an app on your phone and check the GPS. all these things, just all they do is make you scared, and therefore you take your attention away from the driving. And I know this because I went to Germany, like I said, touring the band, driving the bus, and when they said, oh, that sign up there means no speed limit, I was like, huh, really? No speed limit? So what do I have to do? Just drive the vehicle? So then it sounds crazy, but then you just sit back. You don't even look at your speedo. You just sit back and you watch the road and you drive. And it's like a weight's being lifted off your shoulders. Like, so I can't get. There's never going to be a siren behind me. There's never going to be a flash from the bushes that you were going too quick. This is awesome. And then you just sit back and you're like, I'm just driving, and you can focus more on your task because you're not constantly looking up and down. It's almost contradictory that they make you do this speed thing, because on the one hand they say you can't have a cell phone in your car, you can't have any distractions, but it's okay to keep looking up and down at your speedo to make sure you don't speed. And like, I'm an Australian, I live in Australia, and I'm going to live in Australia for my whole life, unless I meet some absolutely banging gorgeous German bombshell. But at this point, I'd say I'd be living in Australia for my whole life. I've got to adapt to that, and I've got to accept it, and I have, and I do, and I don't get any speeding tickets. I'm a good driver, but what I'm saying is, we have so many accidents on our roads, and nearly all of them are guaranteed based on ego and speed. And that sounds contradictory, but if you've got an egomaniac who won't let someone else get past, what happens is this guy coming behind wants to take over. This guy won't let him for whatever his stupid, messed up head won't allow. This guy gets angry, gets agitated. Then when he gets a spot where he potentially can pass, he fucking fangs it. Not only does he get a ticket for going too quick if there happens to be a radar or a cop there, then the speed he hits, probably 140, 150 on Australian roads, not suitable. Clips the side of the vehicle, fuck, bang, the whole thing smashes up, hits trees, dies, deaths, and then there's another road accident because of ego and speed. The Germans have it down. They have it sorted. And it gets me emotionally motivated to they're doing it right. They do it right. And you might argue, well, they've got more space to go between cities and stuff. Australia, we have more space than anybody between our cities. Had they have done this correct from the beginning, could you imagine an Autobahn between Sydney and Melbourne? Imagine a 4-lane Autobahn. That right-hand lane, in our case, it'd be the well, fuck up, now I'm confused. In our case, it'd be, just keep left. In our case, it'd be the far right lane. I'm so messed up now, I've driven so many places. Could you imagine if that far right lane of 3 lanes from Sydney to Melbourne had no speed limit? Could you imagine? Unbelievable. Now, I've completely disregarded the chat to give that rant. Let me have a look. Oh, I want to show you just quickly, in case you haven't seen this. This is the speed. These are common speed signs you'll see in Germany. I just want to show those that have never seen them. Just a quick little interlude. So 60, and then that means the end of 60. So then it's going to change. 80. That means you're now doing 80. And then you've got this guy here, which is no speed limit. That's the one that I used in my graphic. No speed limit. Then you've got. I got 2 mouses there? I think I've got 2 mouses. Oh, no, there's 1 mouse. That one there is the car on the left means that so the red means you can't do what this red car's doing. You cannot pass a car on that side. And you often see that with trucks as well. A truck cannot pass a car. The truck will be in the red on the left. It's like, you can't do that. So simple, such an easy way to work things out. The Germans. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Kleiner bitte. Meine Deutsch ist nicht sehr gut. Let's go back up because I've missed so much of the chat. So sorry about this, folks. I wanted to give this spiel, and I do get a bit angry about it because there are too many deaths related to this ego crap, and you don't have ego when you don't have speed limits. And in Germany, forget it. I could keep going. I could talk about this forever. Yeah, here we go. It's confusing. I thought the speed limit was 154 in the Mitsu van down the bridge, and maybe it's just me. 154. Sprechen Sie Deutsch. Can you mention my name, please, for my sister? Matthew Corbin. I just mentioned your name a bunch of times. That should satisfy your sis. And if you want hers, I don't know your sister's name. Matthew's sister's name. Angelus Elfras. Hello, Angelus. Nice to see you, man. I haven't seen you in the chit chat before. Good to have you here. Where are you from, dude? Where are you from? Give us a tip. What part of the world are you playing in? Robert Muller, nice road signs. Yeah, hey, good morning, Robert. But it's the same speed limit in the express lane. Can you mention my name? Was the Northern Territory speed limit free recently in the past? I heard that actually in the NT there were open speed limits. Robert Muller, 110 is open road in Australia. So 110, in that video I showed, we didn't even slow down to 110. We slowed down to 130 and we had a trailer on the back. Here's another thing that happens in Germany, which is super, super sick. You'll never see it in Australia. Do we, as Australians, do we even know what hazard lights are for? We think hazard lights, and this is one use case for them. We think if you pull over and there's, you've got to change a tire or something, you've got to pull over into the emergency stopping lane. In Germany, it'd be this side. You put your hazard lights on, you get out, you do your thing, make the phone call, whatever it is. In Germany and in other parts of Europe as well, often you'll be on the expressways and on the Autobahns and the speed limit will be open or whatever it is, and there'll be a traffic incident up ahead and the traffic will be banked up to the point where it's stopped. So the traffic is physically come to a stop, but the traffic back there is still fanging along. The hazard lights are used to warn someone behind you that the traffic has come to a stop. So every car in that pile up of stopped traffic will have their hazard lights on, and as a car comes into it, they'll see, flashing lights, put the brake in, put the hazard lights on, tell the person behind. And you don't get that in Australia because nobody gives a fucking shit about the guy next behind you. And sorry about the language, but it is super important. Defensive driving, I don't think they teach it. They don't even teach the zipper method in Australia. Like when you come off a turnpike or an access road to a freeway, they don't teach you that you've got to build the speed up to match the traffic. So if you're coming off a 60 zone and you're going into a 100 zone, you need to get to 100 in the turnpike before you merge, and then you're not even merging. You're just molding in. They don't teach that. It's like you mold in here, the car behind you, the next one molds in there, the car behind the next one. It's called the zipper method. The term doesn't even exist in Australia. You ask an RTA driving instructor, what's the zipper method? Well, I've heard about it, but we don't have the road structures. And it's like, if you don't have the road structure, then you've got to fang it. You've got to go from 60 to 100 in about 400 meters to get up. Otherwise, you're slowing the traffic down, and I should be a driving instructor. I have to go. No worries, man. Good to see you, Matthew. Come back anytime, dude. We do that in the States too. The zipper method. Yeah, it's so simple. And like, I feel like part of driving instruction tests should be, here's a ticket to Germany. Go and drive for a month over in Germany, and then come back and you get your automatic qualification to drive in Australia. Because if you can drive on those Autobahns and you can work out the concept of how courtesy and how things work, you're going to be fine in Australia. And the red and yellow arrows are for accidents that trucks carry. Yeah, Robert, they pull them out of the car and truck and put them on the side of the road as a warning. Matthew Corbin's back. He had to go quickly. He came back super quickly. Look, I know I get riled up about this, and it's a bit of a sore subject because people die in road accidents in Germany. People die in the Autobahn. People die in Australia. I'm not suggesting they've got it all sorted, but I'm saying that we could learn as Australians from them. That's my outro baseline. This has been a great stream. I'll see you tomorrow for the opening of the Jack and call in chat. That rhymes. Yeah, I didn't mean that to, but it did. Thanks, everybody. Cheers. Oh, that's we're out of time.